You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Ettenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of 3 of the great eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we had feared. And they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He had made attacks against Gwaihir's people.
With the help of the eagle Bellerom, we were able to make an end of the giant.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We took these tokens from some of our fallen foes.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agandaur.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
Maybe Agandaur is hiding out there, at Gundabad.
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holes of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so, yet we have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Perhaps not. But we should not sit idle waiting for him to begin the war on his terms. At the very least, we might learn what the orcs are planning.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly. But you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
Then let's get cutting! We're off to Mount Gundabad!
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell, and may the stars shine upon your path.
Farin, it is good to see you once again. We were beginning to be concerned for you and your companions. And yet you return victorious, upon the backs of eagles no less. We are grateful to you for ending the threat of Bargrassar. The giant might have done great harm but for you. The trolls and orcs of the Ettenmoors will be dismayed by his fall. They will be slow to march against us now.
You also were sent out as scouts. What did you find?
Our road led us across the Misty Mountains and into Rivendell. We found wargs gathering in the wild, but as of yet there were no signs they had crossed the mountains. There were fewer orcs than we would have expected in the mountains. Strange, we deemed it. We suspect they may be massing somewhere else, but where and for what purpose, we cannot say.
You sound surprised that the eagles would join with us, but they have come to the aid of the free folk before. With my own eyes, I saw them fight beside us in the Battle of 5 Armies.
We have always counted the great eagles as allies and friends, but many men mistrust them and they have grown wary of dealing with other folk. They have been known to take counsel with certain of the wise upon occasion, yet they are their own masters and aid only those they deem worthy. Clearly you have made a strong impression upon them.
They'll be a great help in the hunt for Agandaur.
I am glad you are so eager to come to grips with the enemy. Yet do not abandon caution completely. You will find few places in the north more perilous than Mount Gundabad. I only wish we were free to accompany you.
You did pretty well at Fornost. I wouldn't mind having the two of you join us in the hunt.
Alas, our father has made it clear we are to remain close at hand as long as Imladris is threatened. Such is our duty, and we will abide by it. Otherwise, we would have sought leave to accompany Aragorn on his quest.
Why would an elf of Rivendell wish to leave his home to fight in southern lands?
For many reasons, not least of which is the friendship we bear for Aragorn. We have shared many hardships and perils together, as we did with his forefathers before him. We would stand with him when he achieves the quest for which so many generations of the Dunedain have striven. And so too would we be there with him at the bitter end, should all our hopes fail.
If that is how you feel, why not ride south at once?
We cannot think only of ourselves. We have a duty to our father and our kin. And what use would it be for Aragorn to gain the realm of Gondor, only to find the lands of Arnor reduced to ruin and ash behind him?
Never. The North will not fall into shadow while I still draw breath.
It heartens me to hear you say so. If you and your companions continue as you have begun, we truly have little to fear. Indeed. With you harrying the enemy across the whole of the North, the two of us will soon be on the road south.
I'll see what I can do then. Farewell for now.
Well met again, foreign lad. What can I do for you?
I've collected these gems for the elf-smith Angmir. They look good to me, but your knowledge of precious stones is far greater than mine. Will you take a look at them?
My pleasure. I always enjoy handling fine gems. Oh, yes. These are excellent stones. See here, the depth of color. The way they seem to shine with an inner light. In fact, I've a fancy to buy them from you. I never tire of collecting such stones, and I've plenty of coin in my purse. How's the weight of your own purse these days?
Your pardon, kinsman, but I don't want to disappoint the elfsmith. A promise is a promise.
Ah, well. Fair enough. But the offer stands if you change your mind.
Those who venture into the wild must be well prepared.
I am grateful to you, valiant dwarf. Even our high areas were threatened by the giant Bargrasar. You have my thanks.
I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more about your leader, Gwaihir.
Gwaihir is the Lord of the Eagles. He can outfly the North Wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of Eagle Lords, soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss.
Were you one of the Eagles that came to our aid at the Battle of Five Armies?
I was there. I saw the goblins that had stealthily climbed the slopes of the mountain to attack your people from above, and was among those who set upon them and cast them from the cliffs to perish.
By my beard, you might be the very eagle that saved me that day. Those blasted goblins were throwing boulders down on us.
If so, I am glad. Let all the foul servants of the enemy meet the same fate, and I will be content.
We're bound for Mount Gundabad, a long way from the sound of it. Are you ready for such a trip?
We are strong and rested. Belaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
Well met, Farin. It is good of you to visit me again. My thoughts stray often to Estelle and my brothers, but also to you and your companions. I continue to brew Miraval, but I am concerned about our dwindling stocks. We still have need of those ingredients I spoke of before.
Not that I mind helping, but is this Miravor worth all the effort?
You will be able to judge for yourself if you can bring me the ingredients. One sip restores strength, uplifts the spirit.
I don't suppose there's anywhere else but the Etmors I can look for them?
There is nowhere else they may be found without a journey of many months. For these rare ingredients, I am afraid you will need to search the Etmors. But do so only if it does not risk your safety. You are more important to us than even a flask of Miraval.
If they are anywhere to be found, then you shall have them. Farewell, Lady Arwen.
Gundabad awaits us.
It's a fine thing your friends have done, offering to help us and all. But do you think they really know what they've gotten themselves into? What can you tell me about them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baron Thor is young, and eager to prove himself. But he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
It was good of Gwaihir to give you leave to help us. It's unusual for the Lord of Eagles to concern himself with us ground dwellers.
It is true. Gwaihir thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information not burdens. Even now, the Windlord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the events that lie before us, though there may be little time left to ponder such things.
It's a terrible, dangerous thing we're asking of you. Maybe we're asking too much.
I believe this is the time when all who care for the fate of Middle-earth must act. From on high, I see many lands and many people beneath my wings. In my own way, I am a steward of the North. In this hour, I will join with those who are bold enough and strong enough to stand against the likes of Agandar. For if we fail, there may be nothing left to watch over.
It's a great honor you do us, Belleron. I'll treasure your friendship, more than gold or jewels.
It is I who am honored. I am pleased to find such friends in these dark times. You may depend on me to the end, whatever that may be. Call upon me without hesitation. We stand ready to bear you to Gundabad.
What'll be waiting for us at Mount Gundabad?
I can tell you little. The stronghold of Gundabad is carved into a great mountain peak covered in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and blizzards that howl from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode of enemies, and we must approach it with the greatest caution.
Maybe we've bitten off more than we can chew. What chance do you think we have?
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve you. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes, or you will stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine. I have seen you 3 triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
We'll keep that in mind. Farewell for now.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Would you be one of the eagles that carried Bilbo and the dwarves to safety during their quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, and later fought in the Battle of 5 Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
Great eagles are no beasts of burden, Baron Thor. Are you sure you're willing to keep carrying us?
I am more than willing. I had long begged the Windlord for a chance to prove myself. I don't fear orc, goblin, or troll. Let's return to the air and put fear into the hearts of our enemies. It is a grand adventure.
Is Belleron your kin?
No, but he has always guided me. Belleron taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He's shown me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Belleron leads, I will follow.
Is Belleron?
No, but we often hunt together.
What can you tell me about Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards, driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind. Welcome. I'm curious about those gemstones we spoke of. Has Glóin confirmed their quality?
He has. Here they are.
Ah, excellent. I will put these to good use. And since you have provided me with the materials I need to fashion more elf stones, I would be pleased if you would accept some of my already finished work. Take whichever suits you best. Hello again. What can I help you with? Hello again.
Welcome back, Farin. I saw you arrive, and I must say, it made for a fine sight. We have something in common now, my friend. We are among the few who can claim to have ridden on the back of an eagle, although I'm sure you enjoyed your journey more than I. Truthfully, I found the whole experience rather terrifying.
Oh, I liked flying. The open air, the rush of the wind in my beard. Glorious! I can hardly wait for the next time.
I suppose that shouldn't surprise me, coming from one brave enough to fight with giants. Oh yes, I've heard all about your adventures in the Eton Moors. Everyone in Rivendell is talking about it. I've seen stone giants with my own eyes. It's beyond me how you managed to get the better of one.
Oh, I didn't do it alone. I had Andriel and Eredon to lend me a hand. And the eagle Belaram as well.
Even so, it was still quite a feat. Frankly, I'm surprised a giant would make war upon us in this way. The ones I encountered seemed caught up in their own affairs and not the least bit concerned with me or my companions.
Well, Bargrasar was more than a little interested in us, I can tell you. It's a good thing we finished him. Who knows what sort of mischief he might have done under Agandaur's command.
Agandaur again. Oh, I don't like hearing about that one. Especially when I think about places like Bree or the Shire. It seems like there is so little to stand in his way.
We stand in his way. We'll find him if we have to search every cave, pit, and ruin in the north. And when we do, he'll get the same thing we gave the giant. You mark my words.
I believe you will find a way to do that, my friend. You have certainly made a good start by thwarting his plans at Fornost and the Eton Moors. You know, someone should be setting down this story of yours. It's certainly worthy of being remembered. I do have my own book to finish, but perhaps when that's done. Maybe you should give me an account of your adventures. I'll take notes, and one day I can write your story. What do you say to that?
Bilbo Baggins writing my story? That would be an honor.
Very well, then. Why don't you start at the beginning?
I suppose it all started that day at the Sarn Ford. There we were. And so, with the giant dead and the great eagles joining our cause, we returned here to Rivendell to inform Elrond of all we'd learned.
Outstanding! What a riveting tale! There is enough there to fill a volume or two already. I just hope I managed to get it all straight. I tried to take good notes. You really must come back later to let me know how it's progressing.
If I get the chance, I'll be sure to do that. Now I'd best be on my way. Farewell, Bilbo.
You will be careful on your trip to Mount Gundabad, won't you? It sounds frightfully dangerous, but I suspect you'll come through all right, if you keep your wits about you. I shall expect a full account of your adventure when you return. Good luck to you.
I hope we reach our destination soon, or this weather may prove more deadly than the orcs.
Take heart. We are nearly there, and this snowfall will hide us from the eyes of the enemy below.
Balaram, look! Above the mountain!
Set us down! We can attempt to find a way into the mountain under cover of this storm.
There is little chance of that, with those creatures keeping watch from above. Once we land you, my comrades and I will draw off the beasts.